Hi, my name is Dr. John Douillard, and I want to talk to you today about the perfect pee. Yes, we wrote the article and did the video on the perfect poop, and yes, in Ayurvedic medicine, it is appropriate to evaluate your elimination as a way to determine your state of balance or imbalance. So today we're going to talk about what the normal pee looks like, what it looks like abnormally, and what your body type has to do with the kind of pee you have, and also some of the classic indicators that we should all be on the lookout for if our body starts to go south on us. So take the body type questionnaire on my website at lifespa.com. It's interactive, it's free. Find out what your body type is so you can then go to the article associated with this video and find out more about how to evaluate and assess your urine. Okay, so a couple of really interesting ones. If you're urinate, and a lot of times you might see a lot of bubbles in your pee. Well, normally if you have a very strong flow, you might normally see some bubbles, but sometimes if the bubbles are excessive, that can be due to excess protein. And those proteins should not spill through the kidneys and get into the urine, and that could be a sign of an underlying imbalance. And you definitely want to go see your medical doctor for that. It could be a diabetes thing. The urine, if it also smells sweet, again, indicator that sugar is spilling through the kidneys and getting into the urine. Another indicator of a real problem. You need to get checked out by your medical doctor, and also realize that might be a diabetes issue. Painful pee. It should never be painful when you urinate. It should be always very easy. Sometimes the pain could be an infection. You should go see your doctor, but sometimes the pain is due to a very acidic diet, a diet of brown foods, processed foods, breads and cheeses and meats, and not eating enough vegetables. So shifting the diet to be an alkaline diet can be very effective for those chronic issues when it's painful. Always make sure that you've ruled out with your medical doctor that it might be painful related to an infection. Sometimes people have red pee or pink pee. That's usually has to do with blood in the urine. Or maybe you ate too many beets, or maybe you ran a marathon, or you have a situation where you're spilling a little blood into the urine. And sometimes with exercise, it can be a little bit natural, but sometimes it can be a real problem, and you need to get that checked out. An old Ayurvedic technique is to heat up the urine. Sometimes the red color can become from concentrated urates in the pee, in the urine, and if you heat it up, they dissolve, and the pee, if the red color disappears, if it's caused by the urates. If it's blood, it'll stay red. Kind of very interesting. Cloudy urine shouldn't really be cloudy. It should be somewhat clear. If the urine is cloudy, it's sort of a kapha obstructive condition that we want to evaluate. Can be an infection. Go to your doctor and make sure that that's not the case. Also, it could be due to phosphates spilling over into the urine. And an old Ayurvedic recipe is to take some vinegar, which is acetic acid, and mix that into the urine. And the acetic acid will dissolve the phosphates and clear up the urine so it doesn't become cloudy any longer. Kind of interesting things. People who drink a lot, very quickly, after their first drink of alcohol, they're off to the urinal, having to go to the bathroom. And this is due to the fact that after just a little bit of alcohol, the antidiuretic hormone in the kidneys is actually decreased and allows the floodgates to open. The kidneys sort of say, hey guys, we're going to get rid of all of this stuff and try to get rid of it as quickly as possible. And we're not going to do a whole lot of filtering right now. We're just going to get rid of everything. And usually the kidneys are about taking the water and holding it so you don't get dehydrated and letting the bad stuff out. In the case of alcohol, the doors are open, everything comes out, and you get dehydrated. So you keep drinking, but keep peeing and peeing and peeing and getting more dehydrated. And the classic cause of a hangover the next morning is because of the dehydration and the production or lack of production of the antidiuretic hormone. So that's, kind of very, very interesting. And so from that perspective, you can have some sense, and I write a lot in the article associated with this video. There's lots of indicators to look for different types of urine. How much should we pee? We urinate on average about 2 liters per day. So we should sort of on average put those 2 liters back, which comes to about 8-ounce glasses of water per day. Now if you're exercising, you're going to lose a whole lot more. So that's where I tend to think more like half your ideal body weight in ounces of water per day. that makes up for the fact that you're going to sweat and do some exercise, which is also, of course, very, very important. When you look at your body type, Vata people who are more nervous system types, they have sort of a different type of urination than the other body types. Their urine can be a little less colorful, more colorless. It can smell sort of astringent. The pH is slightly acidic, like 6 to 7, as opposed to 7, which is ideal. The normal urine for across the board for most body types is slight yellow in color, a pH around 7. More Vata, it gets a little more acidic. Pitta urine can be even more acidic, like 5 or 6, and it can be more yellow and more of a sour, stronger smell than the Vata urine. And Kapha urine can be actually a little more on the alkaline side. It can actually be cloudy, and if it smells a little sweet, then we have some issues we have to look at and go see your medical doctor from that perspective. Sometimes Vata urine can be painful, and again, always rule out with your medical doctor that you have an infection. Usually Vata is dry, so we always think of demulcent herbs like slippery elm, marshmallow root, licorice. We make a tea out of that and drink that to soothe the mucous membranes in the urinary tract so they're not irritated and inflamed. Pitta urine can be very hot and very irritated, so we think of herbs that are going to help flush the urine and cool the urine down and cool the pitta so it's not so hot, heated up, and aggravated. Herbs like Purnarnava or Gokshara, herbs you can read about on my website to learn more about how they function for helping support better urinary tract function. In the Kapha condition, sometimes you have cloudy urine or a lack of flow due to obstruction. Even kidney stones can be a factor there. And of course, always getting that checked out with your medical doctor, but supporting that with herbs that break up obstructions like turmeric and shilajit, herbs to think about from the perspective of helping reduce the kapha in your system. So there you have it. Once you know your body type, you can go to the article and look at the chart and see exactly where you're at in terms of urination. Make sure you go through this article and see if you have other types of urine like green urine or brown urine. This has to do with extra bile flow or bile duct obstructions, which are very serious, again, a medical condition. And just a great way to keep an eye on that so you can be aware that something's not right and go see your doctor before you get into big trouble. Please read the article associated with the video, learn more about how to evaluate the perfect pee. Thanks for listening. I'm Dr. John Douillard.